Kinetic, Bolt, Blade Fall, Blade Blast, Double Spellslinger, Cold Conversion, Occultist. Which I kind of just like making the name sound that long. I think it's kind of funny because it's got all that shit going on. But yeah, you can see this is what it looks like. It's pretty fun. I'll go into some maps here in a second and we'll check it out. Let's get into the map. I'll show you guys how this thing blasts. It's actually really fun to map with. I have a really good time doing this. We've got a lot of auras fit in here. Maybe we'll do the I'll just kind of spam run this real quick. Where's Danik? I'm not really trying to do expeditions right now, but we'll do one. We'll do one. Show its capabilities on expeditions. It's got I mean, it's got occultist explosions, so it's gonna be pretty good, right? At expeditions, right? Got a runic monster right there. Show you guys a single target. It's gonna not hit him. There we go. You see the explosions really hit him there. Did a ton of damage, right? And those things are typically pretty tanky, but I'll show you guys the single target at something more measurable here. We'll go to the map boss here in a second. Just want to do that expedition real quick. Might as well include it in the little bit of a showcase here. Wow. That is the one thing that just always tears me up, man. It's those Eater of Worlds monsters. Alright, now let's check out the single target here on the map boss. Pop our Vol Molten Shell. As you can see, half health and dead. Right? Yeah, I got a Screaming Invitation that time. Doing a lot of maps. I've been doing a lot of maps on this build because it's honestly a really fun mapper. It's a little bit slow. I wish I could make it a little faster somehow. Unfortunately, your options for movement abilities are kind of limited when we're dual wielding wands, right? We don't have like a whirling blades. We don't have a leap slam. We don't have something like that. We don't have a shield charge, which I wish GGG would fix. Because, well, I guess it's not a fix really, but I wish they would change to make some spell builds a little bit more mobile without using a shield. But I guess nowadays most builds pretty much always use shields. But anyway, kind of getting really into the meat of the map clear here. As you can see, yeah, you just move, you right click a little bit, you keep moving, flame dash around, go through the map. It's got absolutely no problem with trash. I mean, your occultist explosions alone are going to deal with trash, basically. There's also, we do have a Forbidden Flesh Flame combo on Frigid Wake, which is really just the cheapest one we could get, because it doesn't really matter which Forbidden Flesh Flame combo you get to get to that 5th big ascendancy point. You just want to grab the cheapest one, really, and that was Frigid Wake for us, so we could gain access to explosions. But if you don't want to do that, you want to make the build even more budget, you could just use Hemophilia gloves, which you're going to lose some stats on your gloves and stuff, but use Hemophilia, you get chance to bleed with attacks, 25%, which is enough, really, to, you know, hit a monster or two and get your bleed explosions. I was using that before, so if you wanted to make it cheaper, you would take out this small reservation cluster jewel here. You would use a Poet's Pen instead of a Void Battery on one of your wands. You'd put your Blade Fall in your Poet's Pen, and that would save you a lot of mana reservation, right? So you probably wouldn't need the cluster jewel. And then you might have to path here, down here, and grab this, or grab this for reservation. And then you could grab down, what I would do, what I did before actually with that setup is, you path all the way down here, you grab reservation here, and then you grab reservation on charisma with an intuitive leap here, and then grab this cluster right there. You want these two, right? And then what you do there is, instead of anointing this, you'd take this stuff out and you'd save some points there, and you'd anoint the power charge instead. Alright, so that's one way to do it. You're gonna have to give up some points somewhere, maybe in the cluster jewel, but I would recommend just doing this setup. It's really nice. And yeah, I guess we'll do maybe we'll do one more map. It's so fun to map with. I just love going in maps here. You can see it's pretty crazy. So take a look at the defenses here, I guess, real quick. We're about 16,000 with flasks. We're up to 30,000 armor, right? And our evade chance is 62% at about 13,000 evade. So that's really good for the diminishing returns chance there on evade. Obviously, the more you get, the less you get back for the amount, right? Diminishing returns on evade chance. So pretty good there. Chaos res, we've actually gotten a decent spot, 23%. So not bad, respectable there. So it's got pretty decent defenses. As you see, it doesn't die very often. You could invest into the build further. And one idea I had, because it's so heavy on mana reservation efficiency, is, and because we're Witch and we're already in the part of the tree that's going to be around a lot of the energy shield stuff, and as you can see, we have a lot of energy shield. You'd have to not do Eldritch Battery, but you could go low life, Shavs, get some more damage with low life, move this, what is this called, Militant Faith, somewhere else to get the more spell damage on low life. to increase your damage, drop your void battery, probably make up for the damage loss with the more multiplier there. Do Prism Guardian. It's going to help you with your reservation efficiency problems, allow you to anoint some more points, probably be able to take out some of the mana reservation efficiency stuff on the tree. Yeah, and then it'd be kind of tight on gem sockets, but you could go about fixing it that way if you want to play around with it more. Unfortunately, I don't really. I wanted to get into League starters, and this was just a cool concept that I had in mind. So I don't really have too much time to min-max this any further and play with it, but just want to put this out there. It's a really cool concept for you guys as a build, right? So really fun, really good mapper. It's on a budget right now, and again, I guess I'll go over the gear real quick too. Just 2 void batteries. So we just have rings, some life res rings here. We've got a frostbite on hit ring with pretty absolute garbage stats on it actually, other than the strength is kind of helpful. And we don't have any life and pretty much just frostbite on hit and open prefix. So the ring could get way better. We also have a leather belt, which is pretty garbage. Strength is nice again with the cooldown recovery, but every other stat is kind of useless except for the little bit of lightning res we get, right? So pretty garbage belt, pretty garbage ring here. We also have kind of a garbage amulet. This really just has spell damage, a little bit of lightning res, and mana reservation efficiency, right? So it's like a 4-stat amulet, a 2-stat ring, a 2-stat belt, essentially. Not very good, because could definitely upgrade some stuff there. This ring's pretty good just for life and res. Helmet, again, kind of like a, what was this, 1, 2, 3-stat helmet with a crafted mod. So like a 4-stat helmet here with blade fall, volley. Really, I wanted to craft a mana reservation efficiency on the helmet, which we needed on the helmet and the amulet, which is why I kind of didn't spam a lot of rerolls on those to hit better rolls, because we're trying to keep this pretty budget. I don't go too crazy with the gear. Then gloves here, we just have some dex, which you do need a lot of dex in this build. So as you see, I have dex at a couple places on the helmet and on the gloves to give us some more dex, because blade fall, blade blast got pretty high dex requirements on gems. And yeah, and then the boots are just pretty typical rare boots, right? So pretty cheap on the gear here. And then the 6-link is just like a regular 6-link with life and res and some armor. The armor, getting the armor up on your 6-link is pretty important. And then really the most expensive stuff is going to be your awaken gems. You kind of want awaken increase AoE, which is a pretty cheap one, and then also the really big one to have is, where is it? Awaken spell cascade. Which, by the way, guys, I'm pretty sure, I was kind of thinking here, you don't want quality on this, because you don't want increased area of effect on, because you're going to put this with your blade fall, and the quality is going to give you increased area of effect, and that's going to make your blade fall spread out more, I think. So it's kind of, someone correct me actually, if I'm not a blade fall, blade blast expert, but yeah, so I didn't put quality on this. Someone else can correct me if that's the right or wrong thing to do. So yeah, that's kind of a couple notes there on the build, and kind of a look at the gear for it. It's pretty cheap. I think you could throw this together for about 5 or 10x. The most expensive thing really being the small cluster jewel here, probably 1x for the large cluster jewel, maybe 1x for the medium. You kind of don't even need that medium cluster jewel. It's not really doing anything. You could just, actually, I almost want to take it out actually and save 2 points to pick up some more life. Like, we got that life, that whole life though. Anyway, I would want to pick up some more life somewhere instead, like maybe grab these or something. Spend 3 points to get there. Anyway, just kind of thinking out loud here. But yeah, that's all the gear. Maybe up to an X on the chest, a few X on the cluster jewels, 3 to 5x on the cluster jewels, and a couple X on the awakened gem. And then everything else together is probably going to cost like 2 or 3x for all the rest of the gear. So pretty cheap there. I'd say it's probably about 10 to 15x build. If you're looking at this build and you don't map as well as this build does, you know, and you want a little bit of an upgrade, yeah, you could play this. It's not super great. You are gonna die. It's not the tankiest thing in the world. It's a little squishy. I mean, we've got Grace, Determination, 30k armor, and Defiance banner. Did what I could there on the defenses, but it still feels a little bit squishy. But it probably really just needs more life, which wouldn't be too hard to do with some better gear. Get a ring with actual life on it. Get not crafted life on like every piece of gear, and you'd probably be a lot better off, right? This ring has tier 2 life, so that's like decent. But this is like tier 2, tier 3 life, I think. Yeah, you could get life in a lot more places. Get increased life. Get like the percent increased life on the chest. But anyway, I'm just rambling on about this build now. But yeah, just a really cool concept I threw together here. There's definitely ways to make it better. I'm curious. I don't have time to throw the the low life shavs version together. I kind of got it in my head and I think it would work, but I haven't really put it on paper in PoB or tested or anything. So, you know, if you want to take the build further, you could try that out or try some other things out. Really cool concept, really fun to play, and yeah, just wanted to show you guys this build. So that's gonna be it for this one, and thanks for watching.